Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our next fight. Making his way to the ring and fighting out of the red corner, it's Dorenda Persaud.
Dorenda Persaud, 5'7", making his, I believe, TCB debut. And this is another bout in the TCB 135-pound Grand Prix.
So we're going to get both fighters up into the ring, but I don't think we're going to be able to start, Charles, until we get the doctor back. The doctor went down to check on the last fighter. Wanted to make sure everything was okay. After the big knockout, we saw the medics. So we'll get the fighters in the ring, but I don't think we can start until we get a doctor ringside.
Yeah, that is correct. That's per the athletic commission rules and the law that you have to have a doctor ringside before a bout can officially take place.
All right, let's throw it down to Chris. Get the second introduction. Chris.
And his opponent, making his way to the ring and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Daron Bates.
All right, Daron Bates stands 5'8". He's also 135 pounds, fighting out of Shift Combat Sports. Now, it's Juniper Muay Thai versus Shift Combat Sports. And both of these guys extremely traditional tonight as they make their way out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm not familiar with Shift Combat Sports. Are you? And it seems like that's a no. Sometimes, why do I even bother? I try to get him involved. Skyler, I'm glad you're up here because you get to witness some of this sometimes.
I was about to say, don't ask me.
I got to carry him on my back. I got to carry him throughout the show.
I love it.
And I get him involved for one. I give him compliments.
He asks me a trick question.
Yeah, listen, maybe you knew. Maybe they're from Manassas. Maybe there was a fire that you went and you put out at their location. I don't know. It's a tough crowd here, ladies and gentlemen.
It definitely is. We get deeper into the night here. All right, we'll get both fighters up into the ring. Now, tonight, things are going to be a little bit different right here because very, very traditional for this, but the rules are going to change. Now, I see that they have elbow guards and the shin guards, so it's different than what we've seen in the last couple, Charles.
Yeah, these guys will be throwing leg kicks. They will be throwing elbows. They'll also be throwing, in that clinch. They'll be in that Muay Thai clinch where it's not going to get broken up as quickly. Unless there's inactivity, theoretically, it could go all the entire round. And that's just the rule set that we're following for the Grand Prix here, which is going to be a more traditional Muay Thai style rule set.
Both with the traditional headgear, they'll get that off here before we get going. But also, when we see the shin guards and the elbow pads, it doesn't mean it hurts less, right? You get popped with one of those.
Look, you could still get knocked out. I think it really takes away the sharpness of the shot, right? The padding helps dissipate some of the damage. But I would tell you, look, knockouts happen in boxing and they happen in MMA, right? Those are two different glove sizes. And I'll also tell you that with shin guards, it takes away that sharpness of that calf, the way it digs into the hamstring or the thigh or the, God forbid, your own calf, right? But with the shin guards, it can still hit all the wrong nerves. It can still give you that dead leg feeling. It can still take your legs out from under you. It's just, it takes a little bit longer. The way I describe it is, with shin guards, you get a couple. With no shin guards, you get one free kick, right? After that, your body's going to be like, this hurts, and your adrenaline is going to wear off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and listen, just getting hit, you think everybody says, oh, the gloves are okay, you got some pads on, you're not going to get hurt. They will definitely get hurt, right? So there is a serious problem right there.
Yeah.
Just because you have gloves or a shin guard doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, it's just one of those things where it's incredibly damaging. That when your shin guards are just off and you're going raw shin into the thigh, it's brutal. It's brutal. Any fight I've ever had, I'll tell you, I didn't have shin guards, but I've had them in the gym, and I've had some real good leg kickers in the gym light me up. And I remember thinking how grateful I was to have that padding there, right? When they're not there, you know it.
All right, let's throw it down to Chris. Looks like we got the doctor and ready to go. Chris, take it away.
Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen, but we are ready to go now. All right. This bout is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the TCB 135-pound division. It is brought to you by our friends at Cherokee Decks, specializing in custom decks and porches for over 2 decades. Starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5'7" and weighing in at 134 pounds, fighting out of Juniper Muay Thai, it's Dorenda Persaud.
Dorenda 5'7", 135 pounds from Jupiter.
And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5'8" and weighing in at 133 pounds, fighting out of Shift Combat Sports, it's Daron Bates. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the TCB 135-pound division. Your referee is Victor Matamala.
Ref Vic Malamala, explain the rules.
Sorry, everybody. I got an important phone call. I won the lottery. No, like for real. I just won 10 grand. No, I'm not joking. All right, here we go. Round number 1. If I was, I'd be serious. You're not getting any of it, but here we go.
I was going to say, we won 10 grand. We, the commentary booth.
Dorenda 5'7". He'd be fighting with those red shin guards on. That's actually really good news, everybody.
Ooh, good uppercut
Bates
there.
Fighting out of the blue corner.
From Daron Bates.
Watch my phone light up now. Watch how many friends I got once I win 10 grand.
Well, and all your friends are listening, too, so that's really, I'm surprised you admitted to that,
Yeah. Well, I don't usually answer my phone.
Good physicality there from both fighters.
Both fighters standing toe-to-toe right on top of the TCB logo.
Really good combinations there from Bates.
Now, when you come into a fight, do you have like some sort of strategy, or you just kind of feel it out compared to your opponent?
It depends at the level. I would tell you, like for this level, it's really more about your own preparation, your own skill set that you want to sharpen. Even at the highest levels, guys deal with that. Like unless you're fighting a specialist, meaning like let's say somebody's in MMA, somebody's a very, very good grappler, or a very good striker. It's something you have to prepare for situationally. I always felt it was better to focus on your own development. And now big punches there landing from Bates. So to answer your question, it's a combination of you want to be aware of what to look for. If this guy might have a good guillotine, you want to avoid that position. Or in this case, he's got a really strong clinch, you want to avoid that. But for the most part, you want to really focus on being your best self and going from there.
Okay.
Big right hand landed again. Quick first round. A lot of work in the clinch, Kevin. And, I'll tell you, I don't know if your accountant is watching this as well. Hopefully he's helping you.
I'm super sorry. I'm trying to take care of something here. This is serious business. If you're at home watching, this is serious. Hang tight for a second. I know you got logged on to watch the fight. Charles is doing a great job. He's going to give you play-by-play
a compliment.
and color for about 3 minutes here. So hang on.
Yeah, he said he won the lottery, but the reality is I actually wrote the check just to get a compliment out of the guy. We were working together for 5 years. Barely anything. So, Skylar, when you watch this and you see the different rule sets, is there something that you lean towards where you're like, ooh, I think that yields more action, or this one's a little bit slower? Like you saw that kickboxing match where there was no clinch, it seemed a little faster pace, versus this, which has a lot of clinch work, some heavy shots, but isn't that same level of activity. Is there anything you noticed there just from an outsider coming in?
I would definitely say I am more locked in onto what's happening right now. I'm a person who likes a little bit more action in the ring. Maybe because I'm just a violent person inside. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But it's definitely like you kind of get into it a little bit more. Like I like the more physical.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I don't disagree. And I think there's a different level of conditioning that goes into something like this too, where you're fighting inside the clinch this way. It's that muscular endurance that you know all so well about, right? How you train your muscles and how you train your body to be, physically able to have a pace like this while also maintaining that cardio you need to kind of like have that long distance style, almost like a running, aerobic versus anaerobic, right? Good pacing here from both guys.
All right, I'm back.
There he is.
Sorry, everybody.
Good clinch work again, up against the rope. Victor adjusting that top rope to make sure it doesn't get in the way.
About a minute left to go here in round number 2. Gonna break this clinch up here, Victor. There we go. Back him up a little bit. I'm going to Florida. I got money.
Permanently?
I don't know if I can survive with 10 grand down in Florida.
A lot of work in the clinch here. Good elbow. 2 good elbows in a row.
Good right hands. Good elbows. Over the top.
There's so much power there coming out of the blue corner, but
Yeah, Daron is really putting it on him.
I'll tell you, it seems like Dorenda was just able to kind of get out of the way and ride it, and these heavy shots just aren't landing the way I would think they would.
Good knee to the midsection.
Now, this being based off points, who do you all have winning thus far?
You know, honestly, this is I'm like bummed you asked me this question for this fight because it's so close. So much of the fight has gone on in the clinch. I'm partial to Daron because he's pushed forward so much and he's like put a lot more on his punches and strikes, right? But I'll also tell you, I thought Dorenda's doing a good job of getting out of the way and countering on his own as well. This is a tough one to score, and these are the fights that, like, the action is mitigated, right? It's heavy in the clinch. It comes down to, like, who's landing the cleaner elbows, who's landing the cleaner knees. Okay. And I don't really know because of the way that they're trading, the way they're moving. I can't really tell from this vantage point, which means it's really tough for the refs to tell from theirs. So I'm partial to Daron just because you're seeing that blue corner, seeing so much power come out of there and a lot of forward progress. But it really is anybody's fight, and a decisive third round, depending on how you score the first 2, could dictate.
Okay. And you did answer another question. I was going to say, how do you even determine a score on what? But you
well, it's and to give a deeper answer too, it's a variety of different things. You have ring gentlemanship, right? So as who's controlling the center of the ring, who's pushing the other fighter back, not just with physicality, but with footwork. And right there is physicality, right? Who's landing the harder shots that are causing more of a reaction. Then the other points, like right here, we're seeing Daron land some big elbows. That counts, right? More so than like a soft jab or, it's a significant strike.
Okay.
That's another criteria as well.
Daron Bates out of Shift Combat Sports is really, really strong. He just pushes back on Dorenda and just keeps the elbows just right up to the face, which is really, really irritating for Dorenda.
Yeah, and Dorenda, you can tell right now, he's kind of just waiting for this action to like come towards him, and he's just not able to deal with it in the same way. He's got to get on the offense, and we've been talking about this a little bit tonight. When you're dealing with a power puncher, you got to be able to back them up. You have to take a little bit of a risk and put it on them so that you can start to drive them back and take some of that power away.
Dorenda is really just back up against the ropes here, and Daron just having his way with him.
And now, right now, he has a way out. If he just goes to his right, he could start to work out of the corner, but then Daron just cut an angle, and now he has his back to the corner, which is not where you want to be in a ring.
Now watch the pressure here from Daron. Going to put that right on the neck, trying to keep the pressure. Victor trying to keep those ropes up high so nobody ends up in the doctor's lap.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just, I think this is one of those situations where if you're Daron, you really got, Dorenda, you have to let your hands go. You have to just start throwing, not with reckless abandon, but you have to take some mitigated risks here and back up your opponent, because if you don't, you're just kind of waiting to absorb damage.
Victor's going to break him up here with about 20 seconds left to go.
Good left hook. Good pressure there from Daron, too. And Dorenda's corner was calling for him to move forward, but he just couldn't quite will himself there. So based on all that, I think that Daron was the one who won that fight.
Just from the amount of pressure that Daron kept putting on him, as you see this right here, it's just pressure, pressure, pressure. Look at this right on the neck right here, and then the sweep. Boom, right there.
Yeah, it was good pressure. He was always driving forward. He was in control of the clinch, and I think that's ultimately what's going to decide this fight.
Both fighters doing a great job tonight here at TCB 30. Almost embarrassing. Just leave your gloves on.
You know, I was just watching that. It's like I couldn't take my eyes off of it, trying to get that glove off. I mean,
just leave them on.
You know, yeah. I think at that point you save till you get to the back. You could unravel them. You know.
Yeah.
But a really good showing there from Shift Combat Sports, who I hope to see more of in the future here at TCB.
All right, looks like Victor has both fighters right in the middle of the ring, and it looks like Chris has the results. So let's throw it down to Chris, and we'll get the final. Chris, take it away.
Salisbury Center, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored the bout 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the blue corner, it's Daron Bates.
Daron Bates comes away with a big win tonight in bout number 9 here at TCB 30. What a great job.